Hello everyone, welcome back to my blanket fort. My name is Tessa Digital and I will be your host today. Today we are going to be having a little fun and we are drawing Danny Phantom from the Nickelodeon show Danny Phantom. Now the reason why I decided to do this is because I thought it'd be fun. Danny Phantom is like my favorite kids show that I remember and will forever love because I went back recently and I rewatched it and I'm still going through it again. Since I am slightly obsessed over Danny Phantom right now, I decided to draw him since I had some inspiration. Before we get into that though, we are going to be doing our sip of the day, the thing that gets us going. Go ahead and get your favorite mug, bowl, tankard, or glass of sorts. And go get your favorite beverage from the kitchen or elsewhere. And let's take a sip together. In 3, 2, 1. Now that we've gotten our sip of the day, I had water today. We're staying healthy. Let's go ahead and get started. So today we are going to be drawing Danny Phantom like I have mentioned before. I did do a sketch before, just because I really hate showing people my drawing process when I don't have a good idea of what I want to draw. So please forgive me. I like to do my sketches beforehand. Now, I should have looked at the portal for Danny Phantom, but I just went by memory of the recent videos that I watched, or the recent episodes that I watched. So if this is going to be just not exactly the same, that is why. Now, when I was thinking about this, I had a really cool idea, and I wasn't sure how to exactly get it out onto paper, but as you can see, it at least semi-worked, and I thought it would be so cool because I've seen some pictures that have someone reaching out, and right between their hands you see the person's eye glowing, and I thought it would be really cool, and I decided to take that inspiration from other people's drawings that I've seen, the few that I've seen, and incorporate that into my own. I don't know if you guys have watched Danny Phantom, but I'm assuming if you're my age, which is early 20s, you probably have. Now, whether or not you're a fan of him or not, that's debatable. I personally really liked his character, and of course I was a kid, but I thought it was always cool that you had this normal teenage boy and then he got these powers and then he can like change his looks and somehow no one knows who he is, and somehow the whole town is dumb because they can't link Danny Phantom and Danny Fenton. I thought that was hilarious. But I still really enjoyed the shows because it always had a lot more action in it, and some of the episodes that were a lot more like story driven, I guess, like deep. I love those, including, I forgot exactly which one it was. I think it's the episode that was called The Greatest Enemy. I think that's what it was, where Danny basically they went to the future where he had turned evil because he cheated on a test. And I thought it was just really cool and interesting. And so that one was one of my favorites because it had a lot more of just, I guess it was more exciting, more tension like, I don't know. It created a lot more like exciting stuff. So I enjoyed it a lot. Now, if you guys haven't watched it, I really do suggest you guys go and watch it anyway, because it's really cool. Though technically it's hard to find the episodes because I think you can only get it on Paramount TV, I'm pretty sure, and then if you can find it on a pirated site. But we're not going to mention those. Okay, so this was fun. I was trying to figure out how I could make the perspective look really cool. Like your focus is on his hand and his eye, and I've wanted to like get better at my shading and just in general anatomy and all, which I think I did okay. I didn't do amazing, but you know, whatever works. I am going to be working on that though. I will be working on my anatomy because I want to get better at it. And I found an artist recently that I absolutely love their art. And I want to be able to draw like them because they have a little bit of a Disney style, but the emotion is it's just there. To me, I love the idea of showing emotion and just action, and it doesn't look like your drawing. It doesn't look like your drawing is flat. And I want to get better so that my drawings don't look so flat. But that will take time. And I know that, but it's gonna suck because it's gonna take way too much time for me in my brain. Okay, so one of the things I was trying to do in this is his eye. I was originally going to make it like, kind of like when you shine a light at an animal in the dark, their eye will be a certain color, but I was thinking of that just like to give an idea of like emptiness in the eye, because he's technically part ghost, or he is a ghost, but I kind of scrapped that later because I wanted people to be more drawn to his eye and his hand. So I kind of like changed things up a little bit instead of doing just the reflective eye. Dude, these hands. I actually did okay with these hands. I'm surprised I did so well with these hands, but I did okay. They're not amazing, but they'll do. And the hair. Okay, the hair was weird. I couldn't figure out the hair, so the hair's not going to look amazing. I will figure out hair later. But I will say this hair isn't too bad. It did kind of get blurred, so no one could really see the detail in it, so I was okay with that. But yeah, so my idea was to have him reaching out of the portal towards someone, and him having, as you can see, a glowing, creepy eye. And originally he was just going to be reaching towards you, but later on I changed it up just a little bit, and there it is. I add the ectoplasm the ectoplasm, there you go, ectoplasm powers. I decided to add that to add a little bit more interest into that area, and it looks like he's shooting ectoplasm near you. I still don't think I'm saying ectoplasm right, but we're just gonna roll with it. You know what? I probably should have made it so his eye was a little bit more round, but I made it like slitted. I think it just looks a lot more detailed, and it draws people's eyes a little bit more. He looks more dangerous with that kind of eye. Oh yeah, I was talking to my dad about trying to figure out what else I could add to this picture, and he suggested that I added like a little bit more of defined ectoplasm to kind of draw people's eye there rather than what I was doing before, and I am so glad he mentioned that because I wouldn't have fixed that. So thank you, Dad. I appreciate it very much. Alright, we're getting that shading in there. We're getting that shading in there. Too many layers, guys. Look how many layers I have. I guarantee you I have about 40 layers. 40 layers of drawings. I just need to do a challenge of just a drawing all in one. That's what I need to do. Like, yeah, I need to do 1 layer challenge or something like that, just to see what I could accomplish. Which technically I've done that before, but it's really difficult. Alright, so now that we are done with our picture, we're going to go ahead and go into critiquing. So we're going to do our negatives first. So probably what I could do is I could make the expression a little bit more alive, a little bit more expression in there rather than kind of just like a smirk. I probably could have added a couple more lines to make the smile look a little bit more dangerous in a way. I could have done that, and then also the anatomy is probably the other thing I could work on, specifically the body half, the top body half. Now, the hand actually looks pretty good, so I don't think that really needs to be fixed. Now for the positives, I would say just in general, this whole thing looks really cool. I really like how his tail, or his legs, whatever you want to say, his ghost form is coming out of the portal, like he's coming towards you. Everything's like blurred until you get to his hand and his eye, and it just brings everything to focus, and I think it looks really cool. So I'm actually really happy with this, and I say that for every single drawing that I do, but compared to when I was like a year or two ago, I wasn't really doing that many drawings and I wasn't finishing drawings, and so the main reason why I started this channel is to force me to get better and also bring people along if they're interested in seeing an artist who doesn't know a lot and trying to improve her art to be able to do that. So since we are finished with that, I'm going to give you guys our question of the day. Now, my question of the day is a yes or no answer. Very easy. You can say yes or no in the comments if you want to, but it's really nice and easy. So the question of the day is, have you watched Danny Phantom? And a bonus question, if you have, who's your favorite character? I'm not gonna lie, I really like Danny, but I think out of all of them, Sam's my favorite character. Now that I've told you our question of the day, I'm going to let all of you go. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your day.